tough loss for you guys tonight against Golden State. They get so much credit for how good they are offensively, but kind of an underrated defensively team. What did they do so good that kind of made it hard for you guys tonight?
Well, they just won. They're long, super long. 1 through 5, they have the ability to play. They have the ability to guard their position. So they do a ton of switching. They have a lot of guys that can guard 1 through 5, and I think that's where they make it difficult on other teams, and that's where we struggle a little bit with this tonight.
You guys defensively, Coach Silas seemed to be pretty pleased with how you guys played defensively, just kind of the offense. Where do you guys think you excelled, kind of stopping their offense a little bit?
Obviously, they're a different team without Steph, but for the guys that did play, we did a pretty solid job. We knew Durant was going to take a lot of shots, and obviously he's a great shot maker. Clay does what he does every single night for those guys. So we had a couple of miscues on the defensive end I think that they took advantage of, but for the most part, man, to hold those guys to what we did, I feel like we did an okay job. We just couldn't put the ball in the hoop.
Marvin, Coach said in that first half he wanted y'all to get out and run some in transition, but you weren't able to do it. Was it something they were doing, or y'all just didn't push it like you really wanted to?
It's a little tougher when you're taking the ball out of the net every time, so you got to get stops to kind of get out and run a little bit. But even when they do make it, you can still get the ball out of bounds with pace and try to get the ball back up the floor. And we didn't do the best job of that in the first half, but I think we did a little better job in the second half.
Marvin, you're on the seats for a while now. How concerned are you?
Cliff? I feel like Cliff is one of those guys where, no matter how he's feeling, what's going on in his life, he's always going to be here. So for him to not be here right now, obviously it's a little bit concerning. I've texted back and forth with him a couple times. He responds every time. It seems like he's fine, in good spirits. Whatever's going on with him, I'm sure he'll be fine. Obviously if he has to step away for a second to make sure he's okay, that's what's most important. So he'll be back to us as soon as we can, but if not, Coach Silas will continue to lead us, man. I think everybody in here is just as confident in Coach Silas as we are in Coach Cliff, and we'll continue to follow his lead.
How difficult is it to accept? You guys had the chance to get to within 5. You climbed all the way back and then couldn't finish it.
Yeah, it was tough. I felt like every time we tried to make a push, those guys are so great. They execute so well. They would end up making a bucket to push it back to 8 or to get it back to 10. We couldn't really get, close enough in striking distance to kind of get the lead or even not tie it up. So, some teams in this league you can play catch up with, but Golden State's not one of those teams, man. Once they get you behind, it's tough to catch up with.
Well, even without those other guys, they're still pretty good. Obviously, with Kevin Durant and Clay, it was hard to stop those guys tonight. And I thought we started the game off pretty slow in the beginning of the second quarter. Weren't playing the right way offensively as far as getting the ball moving and playing with some pace. And then at the end of the second quarter, we finally got it going a little bit with some pace, and Kemba was penetrating and the ball was moving a lot better. And that carried on into the third quarter and fourth quarter. And, those guys made big plays down the stretch. Durant's ISOs are really tough, but, to hold that team to 101 points isn't all bad. It's just our offense tonight just kind of got bogged down a little bit, and we wanted to get out and transition some, and we didn't do that. I think we only had 7 fast break points, so they're giving up like the 29th in the league in fast break points allowed, and we didn't do that. So learning experience for me and for the team as far as we got to play with a little bit better pace.
Coach, where's the concern level at the offense right now? Because it kind of feels like maybe it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back sometimes maybe it's worse than that.
Yeah, this game was a little bit different. I think just because of their length and their ability to switch, and those guys are so interchangeable defensively. So getting the ball to the paint and using your next action, whether it's a pick and roll or dribble handoff, they're going to just switch, and you're still going to be perimeter. So there's definitely concern, I would say, but this game it's kind of hard to gauge off of just because of the way that they defend and how long they are.
Any sense of Cody and Frank?
No, I don't know. Hopefully those guys be okay, because we got some games coming up, some home games coming up, but I don't know.
Even though it was a loss, what's the greatest positive you could pull out of the match?
I think we learned that when we play with some pace and we get up and down the floor a little bit, we can be more successful at getting some good shots. And I thought Travion Graham did a very good job off the bench, and we had him playing the 4, and it doesn't matter where he is, 2, 3, 4, he'll just go out there and try his butt off, and that was good to see. Kemba and Nick's effort was really good, especially in the second half. Neither of them wanted to come out of the game. Nick, I got him out for 2 minutes, and Kemba, he played the whole third quarter and then wanted to play the whole fourth until I took him out the last few minutes, especially with the injuries. We didn't want to have another one, so it was good to see those guys kind of get after it, those three in particular, and we'll just kind of go from there.
Nick has talked about how he's working his way back in terms of game conditioning and working as a facilitator. Seeing him coming back, how much does that improve the people around him?
Oh, it makes a huge difference. I mean, he's always thinking of his teammates first, coming off screens and looking for the pass and making his teammates better and drawing the second defender. He has a great understanding of the game. So for him to be able to play the minutes that he played tonight is good for our team, and hopefully it'll carry over to better offense.
Another player almost seems to be snake bit by injuries early on, Michael Carter-Williams. Where is he in terms of his progression toward being fully game fit?
He's getting close. He's getting close in the role that he has. Playing behind Kemba isn't easy at all because Kemba's going to get the minutes, and if we have any issues or we need to kind of sustain, Kemba's going to stay in. So for him, it's all about being ready and like you said, being in game-ready shape, and he's getting there.
Trevion plus 11 in this game. What did you think about his defense? And it seemed like that part of the catalyst that helped you pull the deficit down.
Yeah, he was good. I mean, Frank went down, and Trey stepped in there, and he was able to guard Durant a little bit, and Klay Thompson some, and Iguodala some. I mean, he was guarding a little bit of everybody and tried his heart out. And the thing about Trey is he always stays ready, always stays in his routine, and he is just a great worker and super smart. And he's going to give his all, and he's also not a mistake maker, which is something that's needed off the bench.
One free throw attempt in the first half, 16 in the second. It's a big part of your offense. What changed first half?
The ball movement. I mean, the first half we were kind of playing a little bit slow, and they forced us into a bunch of jumpers, and that's what they do as a team. They're good at that. But I think second half we moved the ball a little bit. We were able to get Dwight on some seals after ball movement, not before, and we were able to get to the free throw line some. So our ball movement is everything, and when we're able to do it, we get those seals for Dwight or those pick and roll plays for Kemba.
Cody Zeller hurt himself on a play. How severe is his injury?
I don't know. I mean, I thought it was pretty bad, and then he jumped up and got a dunk, but then he limped after that. So we'll see.
Okay, so the play before the dunk was when he hurt himself.
Yeah. That's why he was back in the backcourt. So he hurt himself, was limping around, and then got the ball, ran up and dunked it, and then started limping again.
It's amazing when people are one-on-none. So much better than
For sure. But we're hoping that it's not too bad.
If you lose Frank and or Cody for a while, is Johnny the logical alternative?
Yes. Johnny is the next guy to play some 4 and some 5. But yeah, Johnny, another guy who stays ready. Mike Batiste does a great job with him, and they played some 2-on-2 yesterday, and he's always ready. So he might get his chance.
12 block shots tonight, but that's
an
unusually high number. To what do you attribute that?
Their length. We were getting the ball into the paint some and trying to dribble through and trying to get to the rim, and they were just, blocking their shots. And so a lot of that is just attributed to their quickness and their length. And we're trying hard to get the ball into the paint, but there's really not much you can do about it. We talk about dribbling through and making the play to the weak side, or as those shot blockers come, dumping it off to whoever's available. But we didn't do much of that tonight.
Tough loss for you guys tonight. The Warriors get a lot of credit for their offense. What do they do so good defensive that made things challenge for you guys tonight?
They're a good defensive team. I feel like we missed a lot of easy shots. I know I did. I missed wide open shots. Missed a lot of easy shots. So again, they're long inside. They contest a lot of shots, and like I said, they're a great defensive team. But I feel like tonight we missed a lot of shots. Like I said, I know I did.
Defensively, you guys held them 101 points. What were you guys doing that kind of helped limited their offensive productivity?
Just playing hard, trying to make it tough on them, trying to take away the easy baskets, and we played solid defensively. We just I don't know, we just didn't have enough people knock down enough shots, including myself.
You guys lost Frank and Cody. Hopefully not the serious injuries, but you had a couple guys, Johnny, Travion, kind of come in. And what did you think of their performance tonight?
They played great. They haven't played in a while. They stepped in and played great. So that's all you can ask.
Coach said that he wanted y'all to push the ball in the first half, kind of get out, but he said y'all weren't able to do that. Was that just something they were doing, or y'all just weren't? You just didn't get out and run like you wanted to?
I have no idea. I don't know.